From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Bike safety advocates in Bozeman say streets in the community are not safe enough for cyclists. What they say is needed just ahead.
I'm Jonathan Amberian in Helena. I'll tell you why a recent campaign ad in Montana's Western Congressional District race drew criticism from victims in a child abuse case from 2 decades ago.
Well, happy Wednesday, Southwest Montana. It is 6:30. Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here, working our way through another lovely fall day. Yesterday was gorgeous outside yesterday. Beautiful out right now. The moon just barely above the horizon when I left this morning, or what's left of the moon.
Yeah, a little under half.
Yeah.
But man, it is absolutely gorgeous.
Yep.
It's just cold in the morning.
It is brisk.
For once, my kid went back for his jacket because he figured he'd need it tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Bet it's still in the locker, isn't it?
No, he went back inside,
got it.
thought ahead.
What?
It's a dad moment, the proud
day.
Meteorologist dad moment. Right now, 20s and 30s for most of the area. Sometimes he does listen to me. Mainly clear skies. Daytime highs should be back near the 70-degree mark for the afternoon. Full sunshine with some changes ahead. We'll tell you whether my child listened to me or not. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
And those of you who know his child, please don't ask him about it because he'll never admit that he listened to you.
Please do not.
He'll never
Yes.
admit to it. 6:30, I listened to you. 6:31. Bozeman City Commissioners got an earful about keeping local roads safe for cyclists last night. TN's Edgar Cedillo explains why.
Biker safety was at the forefront at Tuesday night's City Commission meeting. This comes after 2 bikers were killed on Bozeman roads in less than 1 month, the most recent being Bozeman High School teacher Kelly Fulton. Many people who spoke out at Tuesday night's meeting said that Fulton's death was the catalyst for them to speak out. Residents from Bozeman and other communities turned out asking commissioners to look into solutions like increased enforcement, more bike and pedestrian visibility, and street design.
In Bozeman anymore. I belong to a group of bikers, and I have really given up a lot of the biking that I do because I'm just scared half to death.
Commissioner Coburn, Deputy Mayor Cunningham, and Mayor Andrus shared their condolences and called for action to be taken. Commissioner Coburn highlighted the need for increased focus on street design, while Mayor Andrus and Deputy Mayor Cunningham called for awareness campaigns. Cunningham even looked and called on City Manager Jeff Mihalik to look into the possibility of lowering the citywide speed limit to 35 miles per hour. I'll have an in-depth overview on Tuesday night's meeting, Wednesday at 5:30 and 10. In Bozeman, Edgar Cedillo, MTN News.
All right, thank you, Edgar. 6:33 now. We have an update this morning about discontent among Bozeman Health employees, which we first told you about earlier this week. The board chair of Bozeman Health, Zinke Ferris, has resigned. Vice Chair John Howe now taking her place. In an email to staff, John Howe announced the resignation and went on to say, quote, "Our board of directors and I are committed to working with all of you to find a constructive path forward without distraction from patient care," end quote. It goes on to say, "We will get through this situation with dignity and compassion." Now, we have reached out to Bozeman Health, and the board had no additional information to share with us. Meantime, in Montana's Western District race for U.S. House, candidates Ryan Zinke and Monica Tranelle have argued over Tranelle's record as an attorney. One recent Zinke campaign ad focused on her representing a man convicted of abuse. TN senior political reporter Jonathan Amberian talked to the woman at the center of that case, who says portions of the ad have re-traumatized them. Quick note about this story: MTN has decided not to show the specific images in the ad that these women objected to.
In the congressional race in Montana's 1st District, Republican candidate Ryan Zinke has attacked Democrat Monica Tranelle for serving as an attorney for a man convicted of sexual abuse. Several women have reached out to MTN, saying to have that issue resurface has been painful for them.
Because it's deeply traumatizing to have that memory flashed right on your face.
Danielle Moore was one of 4 underage victims who Robert Riggs was convicted of abusing in 2002 in Gallatin County. She says she was shocked to find her story was now becoming part of a political campaign.
I have somehow been able to fix something that happened to me 23 years ago, and it's not right for politicians to use that in political gain.
Since talking to Moore, MTN has heard from 2 other victims who shared her anger about the case being brought back up. Riggs was found guilty on 4 separate charges. In 2011, Tranelle represented him when he asked for a new trial, claiming his original attorney hadn't provided an effective defense. The Montana Supreme Court denied the request. Last month, Zinke's campaign began running a TV ad prominently featuring Riggs' name and photograph and describing the crimes he was convicted of. It said Tranelle, quote, argued to let him out of prison to roam our neighborhood streets. Moore says her sister saw the ad and shared it with her. She was especially concerned about how it would affect the other victims.
Politicians really need to think about how their words impact the people that elect them. We're the people. They work for us. That is how it's supposed to be, and they're forgetting that.
The women told MTN they were particularly upset by seeing Riggs' picture in the ad. They said they'd like Zinke's campaign to withdraw it and potentially apologize to those affected. In response to MTN, Zinke's campaign released a statement on October 13th, saying the ad hadn't aired in the previous several days. They said, quote, Ryan has deep sympathy for these women and respects their feelings. The commercial stopped airing a few days ago. The issue, however, remains that America is facing a crime epidemic, which is made worse by liberal extremists like Monica Tranelle. Thank God she failed. Imagine the trauma that victims would have suffered had Monica won, vacated the conviction, forced a new trial, and had him released from prison. During MTN's Western District congressional debate in Bozeman earlier this month, Tranelle called Zinke's ad a lie. She said her claims had nothing to do with the underlying charges against Riggs, and there was, quote, no set of circumstances where he would have been released to roam the streets free. She said all Americans are entitled to due process. In a statement shared by her campaign on October 15th, Tranelle said, quote, Ryan Zinke's decision to air an ad based on lies, forcing victims and their families to relive this trauma, highlights the worst of our politics. My heart goes out to everyone involved. The victims MTN spoke to said they're not happy that Tranelle represented Riggs, but they didn't believe the issue should be used for political attacks.
She's not right either, but he's not right either. And I'm sick of the division in this country. All it's doing is hurting people. They're not seeing that it's hurting people.
In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Now, Jonathan tells us the 4th woman victimized by Riggs reached out to MTN, agreeing with the 3 other women who spoke with us. We have Danielle's full statement available on our website. Well, Joe Sample, longtime Billings resident and founder of the Montana Television Network, passed away last week at the age of 99. We've always known Sample for what he meant to television stations across the Treasure State, but as MTN's David J. tells us, that is only a very small part of who he really was.
Joe Sample brought over this sculpture of the 7th Cavalry done by the late Lyndon Pomeroy. It shows his passion for art and history. He also left some paintings here at the MTN KTVQ building that show his passion for art and jazz. His daughter-in-law called him an extraordinary man.
He was eclectic. The kids loved it.
Barbara Sample shows some of her father-in-law's favorite art he and his wife Miriam loved to share with family and friends.
Every year, Joe would have a Christmas party. Miriam would do all the work, his wife. And, you know, there were jazz artists there. And it was a celebration of what he loved.
Barbara was married to Michael, Joe's son, who was stabbed to death almost a decade ago. She wanted to share this story because she says it illustrates Joe's compassion and kindness while he also was feeling pain.
It was harder for him, I think, than I could have imagined because I had my own grief. And yet he reached out in a very personal and supportive way.
Joe Sample moved to Billings in 1954 and became a minority stockholder and president of Cook TV and establishing the Montana Television Network shortly after.
He saw that there was TV in Chicago and those places, and so he decided he could do it, and he did.
When Cook changed his call letters to KTVQ, he came up with the idea of Q2.
KTVQ is a mouthful. You know, Q2 would be Joe saying, let's just do that.
The Montana Television Network represents just one of Joe Sample's accomplishments. He led or donated to many causes throughout Billings and Montana.
He was very involved in the new library. He got a whole bunch of his friends together and they bought the Northern Hotel.
And she says he used to enjoy joking and having fun.
He loved to kind of tease. It was never hurtful.
And Barbara talked about one of the great lessons from Joe.
We have an obligation to be generous as we possibly can, and we need to keep our names to ourselves. So I think that's a wonderful gift that he taught not just his family, his kids, but all the grandkids.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Again, Montana television pioneer Joe Sample dead at the age of 99. We're going to take a quick break here on Montana This Morning. We come back.